Creating a website for your music and brand is easy with the Rhythmic Rebellion site builder. In this video, we will be showing you how to build a sample website using the site builder functions and features. But before we get into building a website, you should take note of the help feature. At the bottom right corner of your screen, you can click on the question mark button to open the help feature. You can search for answers to any questions you may have or send an email request for help if you can't find what you are looking for. Before you start building your website, you will need to create your assets. Click on the Assets tab to create songs, albums, videos, and other things you will use on your website. Under the Fans tab, you will find the Artist Penthouse assets, crowdfunding, and the gift codes creator. This is also where you manage your fan mailing list. To get started building your website, click on Artist Site Builder. Don't confuse this with a Songwriter site builder in your Songwriter account. Build your Songwriter website after you're done with your artist website. But if you're a singer-songwriter, you must create all your songs in your Songwriter account first. Then inside your artist account, your SRTs will connect back to those Songwriter song compositions. If you have started a website, you will see your current website displayed. To start fresh, or to use a theme, click on Themes. You will then see available themes and the option to start from scratch. Note that if you click on Start from Scratch and apply it, it will erase any current website content you have. Now that we have a blank slate, let's add some pages. Click on the Pages menu. The home page is already established as the first page, so let's add another. Click the plus button and page 2 will be added. Click on the menu dots and you can rename the page, copy it, make it your home page, delete it, or simply hide it from view. Hiding your page allows you to publish changes to your existing pages without publishing the pages you are not finished with. Now let's click on our home page again so the builder knows that's the page we want to start working on. Next, let's choose our palette and background. There is a list of predetermined color palettes that work well together. Once you click on a palette to the right, the full palette will show up on the left with the colors in different shades. If you want to change one of the colors in the palette, simply click on that column and select another color, and that color will be added. For the background, you can choose to have it as a color, a gradient, or an image. For now, we will just choose a color from our palette. Now that we have the foundation of our website set up, let's review some key functions of the site builder. One thing to keep in mind is that 90% of your viewers will be looking at your website from a mobile device. So be sure to switch between the desktop view and the mobile view whenever you are creating your website to make sure the formatting looks correct. There are also safe areas of your website. You can see the edges of the safe area marked by red lines. While it's fine if colors and backgrounds expand past the safe area, you should avoid having any text or important content extending over the safe area line, as it could be cut off when viewing your website on a smaller screen or tablet. There is also an option to build your website to a grid. Simply click on the gear icon next to the desktop and mobile display buttons, and then click on Grid. This will display an alignment grid to help you build your website in a balanced way. You can also change the amount of grid lines that are shown. You can click on Snapping to have features you add to be snapped in place along the grid. If you don't have snapping enabled, you can see how you can easily place items anywhere around the grid. There's also an option here to choose whether feature names are displayed when you are building your site, and you can also view keyboard shortcuts. Take some time to review the keyboard shortcuts, as they could help you build your website more efficiently if you use them. Another function that can help you is the ability to copy and paste features. When you add a feature and hover your mouse over it, there will be an icon that looks like two pages on top of one another. Clicking this will ask you where you want a copy of this feature to be placed. Choose the page you want it to be copied to and click Apply. This is useful if you want to place the same feature on multiple pages that has already been formatted and customized to your liking. Since we have a feature added in, let's take a look at some more standard feature options. If you click on the Pin button, this will pin a feature to your site so that when you scroll up and down a page, that feature will stay pinned to that location, so it will always be in view. Next is the button for changing the order of layers. This is important if you have multiple layers of backgrounds, blocks, or other features on your site, and you need to change the order of appearance. For example, you don't want a gallery image to be in front of a text feature, so if you add a gallery image after you already created the text, you can click and adjust the layer order to move the image behind the text. Simply click the layer button to move the selected feature to the bottom or back layer of the site, move the feature down by one layer at a time, move the feature up one layer at a time, or have the feature move to the topmost layer. The next button is a gear icon that simply brings up the settings for a feature. And finally, we have the trash icon that you can click on to delete a feature. The last thing we'll go over before we start adding features is how to shorten or lengthen a page. To change the length of a page, simply hover your mouse over the dotted border line that is at the bottom of your page outside of the safe area. Your mouse icon will change, and then you can click and drag to either shorten or lengthen your website page. Now let's add some features. The first feature we are going to add is the menu feature. Click and drag the menu feature onto your site. You will see your existing pages displayed as the menu. You can also click and drag the corners to resize the menu if you'd like. If you click on the link setting to the right and then you click the plus icon, you can add links to external websites or create new pages for your site in the drop-down menu. Next, in the view setting, you can enable or disable the background and change the color of the background as well as the opacity. You can also change the alignment of the menu items within the menu bar. There is a fixed menu option here that enables you to have the menu stay fixed to the screen while you are scrolling up and down the website. Next is the button setting. Here you can change how the menu buttons look and function by changing the text color, hover color, the background hover color, the radius of the buttons, as well as the spacing. The next few settings are applicable across many of the features on the site builder. You can add a border, change the color of the border, and choose what sides it appears on, as well as how the border reacts when a mouse hovers over it. Next, you can add a drop shadow. You can adjust the color and location of the drop shadow by changing the values in the appropriate fields. Now let's add a banner image using the gallery feature. Click and drag the gallery feature from the feature panel to your website. You can either upload an image or use one that you have previously uploaded. If you'd like, you can use more than one image in your gallery. Next, let's add some text that welcomes users to our site and briefly introduces us. There are many formatting options for your text. We have gone over them in further detail in a dedicated video. Now let's add some sharing icons and social media features. Clicking and dragging the share feature places a block of sharing links to your website. This enables a visitor to share your website via different social networks or by simply copying the link to your website and sharing it manually. The social button feature enables users to like or follow you on the social media platforms they are currently signed into. And the social feed feature enables you to add a content stream of your social media pages to your account. For example, I can add a Facebook feed to my site by adding my URL and selecting what content I'd like to have appear. Next, let's add a video feature. Click and drag the video feature from the features panel. Then you have the option to select from a list of videos you have previously uploaded to your account. If you don't have any videos uploaded, visit your asset manager and you can upload the videos there. Like many of the other features, you can click and drag on the corners or points to resize the feature. Now let's add a playlist. Click and drag the playlist feature to your site. You can either select a pre-existing playlist or create one here. You can also create playlists and albums in your asset manager, but you must have songs and albums uploaded to your asset manager beforehand in order for them to show up inside of the website features. Next, let's use the block feature. The block feature is an extremely useful tool for building your website and maintaining it. Any features you place within a block will become part of that block, allowing you to move blocks or sections of content around your website with ease. There is an individual video tutorial on the block feature that explains the functions in depth. Let's take our block feature and make it the width of our page and change the background color. Next, let's add a mailing list feature. This feature is useful in creating mailing lists so that you can inform your fans when you have new music, tour dates, or any updates you'd like to share with them. Let's place the mailing list feature within the block so that it becomes part of the block. Now you can easily move the block and mailing list around as one unit on your site. One thing you might want to consider adding to your site is a next page button to the bottom of your pages. Click and drag the button feature and choose the link setting and choose what page to link to. You can then rename it to Next Page or whatever you see fit. This allows viewers of your site to easily click to the next page of your website without having to scroll back to the top of the page. You can also add more buttons for other pages on your website if you'd like. There are many more features you can add to your website, and there are dedicated articles and videos on those features to guide you on using them. Feel free to mix and match features to see what looks and works best for your site. If you're looking to save a little time, you can also build your website using one of the pre-designed themes. Simply select a theme and then choose to either preview the theme to see what it looks like, or you can apply the theme to your site. Note that whenever you do this, any pre-existing work done to your website will be erased. Now that you have the theme installed, you can easily go through the website and change the finer details of the theme as well as the sample content. For most features, simply click on the feature and then click on the gear icon to access the settings, or you can double-click on a feature. From there, simply replace any of the pre-existing content with items from your own asset manager. For example, to replace a gallery feature, click and open the feature settings. Then, click on the gallery item you'd like to add. Then scroll down and remove the theme's preview photo. Then click Apply. Now let's take a look at replacing an album. Click and access the album features settings. Then click Unattach. Then you can choose an album that you have in your asset manager to replace it. Don't forget to create your album in the album assets from songs that you have previously created in the song menu within the asset manager. If there are items within the theme that you don't want, simply delete them by clicking on them and then click on the trash icon, or by clicking on them and hitting delete on your keyboard. If you delete items from the theme, you'll most likely have empty space and need to decrease the size of your website. Simply click on the dashed lines outside of the safety area and resize your website page. Whenever you are working on your website, we recommend saving every few minutes to make sure any progress is not lost. At any time, you can click View as a Fan to see what your website looks like without publishing it. Once you publish your website, it is live and available for anyone to see. Each time you make changes to your website, you must publish it again to publish any new changes. After you publish your website, you can click on the Go to Website link and review the live version of your site. When you're reviewing that page, you can copy and paste the URL and share it with your friends and fans. Having a website is a great way to boost your online presence and to interact with your fans. We hope this video helped you in crafting your own Rhythmic Rebellion website. There are more videos available for the individual features in the site builder, so if you're looking to find out more about a feature, there are more tutorials available.